Hey friends, welcome to tonight's relaxing philosophy for sleep. This slow-spoken, bedtime gentle narration is designed to help you unwind, clear your mind, and drift into a peaceful night's rest. Imagine standing in an ancient Roman garden at twilight. The marble columns glow softly in the fading amber light. A thin veil of evening mist settles over trimmed hedges. You hear the gentle, calming trickle of a fountain flowing endlessly into a stone basin. The air smells of lavender, damp earth, and aged parchment kept in nearby scroll rooms. You notice the cool stone beneath your feet, and somewhere in the quiet, Marcus Aurelius sits with a wax tablet, scrolling through his thoughts just as you scroll through yours at night. This is where philosophy meets sleep, where old wisdom dissolves modern noise. Tonight, you explore how ancient Stoics transformed their anxieties into tranquility, their worries into wisdom, their restless nights into profound rest. You may not realize it yet, but philosophy can lull you into sleep as gently as a lullaby. And the ancients practiced these calming rituals long before sleep apps existed. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And I'm curious, where in the world are you listening from tonight? Drop a comment with your location and your local time. It's fascinating to imagine all of us connected across time zones, all seeking the same peaceful sleep through timeless wisdom. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. You breathe in, slowly, and as your breath deepens, the scene around you shifts into an even softer quiet. The first gentle step on this path is entering the evening of your mind. You notice how the day has left echoes behind small thoughts, lingering concerns, unfinished conversations, tiny moments replaying. They float around like dust in a sunbeam. But tonight, you're not here to fight them. You're simply here to notice them and allow them to settle. Stoic thinkers believed the evening was a sacred moment in unwinding, a return to yourself after the pull of the world. They saw nightfall as a kind of philosophical doorway. When the world grows dark, the mind has permission to soften. The Romans called twilight the hour of the soul, the time when the mind turns inward, and when clarity arrives not through effort, but through letting go. This is why Marcus Aurelius wrote many of his reflections during quiet evenings. His meditations are filled with small reminders meant to calm the mind before sleep. Let the mind rest. Let it be simple. Let it be present. Not a command, just an invitation. The same invitation you're accepting now. Your breath becomes a slow tide. In and out. Thoughts approach and drift. You're not resisting anything. You're simply entering a slower rhythm, entering your evening self, entering a world where nothing needs to be solved and nothing needs to be controlled. Soft breeze moves through the imaginary garden. Cypress leaves rustle gently overhead. You can almost feel the coolness brushing across your skin. Every sensory detail helps you step further inside yourself, because the more present you become, the more the mind releases its grip on the day. The Stoics believed that peace begins with awareness, not action, not discipline, just awareness. A kind of gentle noticing. You observe the texture of your breath. You observe the weight of your body settling into whatever surface holds you. You observe the soft hum of your environment. You observe the thought that tries to interrupt you, and then the way it dissolves when you refuse to chase it. Asterisk. This is the evening of the mindless space, where you can witness thoughts like lanterns drifting down a river. They appear, glow for a moment, and move on. You don't hold them. You don't push them away. You simply let them drift. This simple act invites the body into rest, and the mind into a deeper kind of quiet. Asterisk. Now imagine yourself walking slowly through that Roman garden. The stones beneath your feet feel cool and grounding. The night sky grows deeper, shifting toward shades of blue and early starlight. A few torches flicker along the pathways, casting warm, gentle halos. Each breath you take becomes softer, longer, calmer, as though the universe is exhaling with you. Asterisk. The Stoics often spoke about aligning the self with nature, and here, in this slow twilight scene, nature moves at the perfect pace for rest. Nothing rushes, nothing demands, everything settles. So, much of your day pulls you into urgency, into doing, into reacting. But in this ancient, imagined place, the only task is to exist, to be exactly where you are, without strain. Asterisk. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that each day ends the same way, with release. He wrote about the futility of carrying the entire world on your shoulders, especially into the night. He believed that evening was the time to set the world down, piece by piece, just as a traveler removes burdens after a long road. Asterisk. And so tonight, you set down your own burdens, the expectations, the tasks, the worries, the small frustrations lingering from earlier. They don't disappear, but they rest beside you instead of inside you. You don't push them away, you simply acknowledge that they no longer need your attention right now. Asterisk. As you breathe in, imagine a soft warmth filling your chest, a calm glow, expanding gently. As you exhale, imagine tension melting down. Your shoulders, sliding off your back, pooling softly beneath you. Again, warm breath in, quiet release out. This rhythm ushers you further into the evening of the mind. Asterisk. In the same way the sun yields to night, your mind yields to stillness. The transition happens gradually, naturally. You're not forcing it, just allowing it. And this gentle permission is the first secret of Stoic rest. Tranquility grows best in a mind that is no longer resisting itself. Asterisk. Your breath steadies, the world softens, and in this quiet, a new understanding begins to whisper. The kind of whisper that leads naturally into the next layer of Stoic wisdom, one that deepens your presence even further, one that slowly guides you toward the doorway of inner control, toward a calmer, clearer kind of awareness that unfolds with each breath. You stay settled in that soft twilight of the mind, your breath moving as gently as a slow tide. And as you linger in this quiet space, another layer of calm unfolds, one the Stoics treasured deeply. It is the art of softening into the present moment, the skill of focusing on what is here, right now. Not what has passed, not what might come, but what breathes with you in this very instant. Asterisk. You'll notice how the air in your imagination cools, how the night deepens, how the subtle sounds of distant water and rustling leaves blend into a single soothing harmony. You feel yourself drifting into a clearer awareness, one that doesn't require effort. The Stoics never asked the mind to strain its way into peace. Instead, they taught that peace arrives when you stop wrestling with time, when you stop replaying the past, stop anticipating the future, stop micromanaging the next moment. You'll simply rest in the one unfolding. Beneath you, Marcus Aurelius wrote that the present moment is a tiny thing, small enough to hold gently, simple enough to live peacefully. He believed that if you can anchor yourself to this sliver of now, the mind becomes light, steady, and calm. You don't have to control everything, only the way you meet this moment. And right now, you meet it with softness, with quiet, with the faint glow of awareness. Your breath becomes a guide. Each inhale brings you back to yourself. Each exhale releases everything that tries to pull you away. The Stoics practiced this without calling it meditation. They simply noticed themselves living. They paid attention to the rhythm of steps on stone, the warmth of sunlight, the taste of bread, the sound of distant market chatter. Awareness was their gateway to inner peace. Imagine yourself standing again in that Roman garden. Only now, you take a slow step forward. Your sandal touches the ground. You notice the texture of the pathway cool, slightly uneven, worn down by centuries of feet. You hear an owl somewhere in the darker branches overhead. You feel a gentle heaviness in your limbs, the kind that comes when the body trusts it can finally relax. Each detail anchors you deeper into the experience, not thinking about the garden, experiencing it fully, presently. The Stoics believed this presence was a shield, one that keeps the mind from being dragged into storms of thought. When you're here, in your breath, in your senses, in this soft current of awareness, the mind cannot scatter, it cannot spiral, it cannot run down hallways of worry. It stays with you, where you stand, where you breathe. And so, with your next breath, you let your shoulders soften, your jaw loosen, your hands grow heavier, your body sink more completely into rest. You allow the smallest details around you, the imagined night air, the glimmer of torchlight, the faint fragrance of herbs to pull you deeper into now. Seneca wrote something beautiful about awareness. He said that nothing is more sacred than the moment you are in, because it is the only place where life actually exists. He reminded himself daily that regret and anticipation are illusions, mental creations that steal peace. But presence is real. Presence is grounding. Presence is freedom. You feel this truth settling gently in you. The worries of the day live behind you. The uncertainties of tomorrow wait far ahead. But this breath, this quiet, this softness is yours. Completely. Now allow yourself a brief sensory drift, a meditative pause. You walk slowly along the garden path, moving without hurry. Each step echoes softly through the night. You feel the coolness of air on your cheeks, smell the faint sweetness of rosemary drifting from the hedges. See the moon rising above cypress silhouettes, a pale circle floating in a deepening sky. A warm lantern flickers from a nearby stone wall, its light trembling gently with the breeze. Your body feels heavier, more relaxed, as if the earth itself is holding you. The stillness around you becomes a stillness within you. Thoughts like soft ripples flattening into calm water, and your breath becomes a quiet companion, rising and falling in peaceful rhythm. Asterisk, as you come back to the philosophical flow, you notice something. Presence and control are connected. When you're fully here, in this breath, you stop fighting the things that don't belong to you. The mind often becomes restless because it tries to live in places it cannot touch. It tries to fix the unchangeable, predict the unpredictable, undo what is already done. But when you return to the anchor of now, when you settle your attention into your senses, the unnecessary weight simply cannot hold. Asterisk, you begin to sense how presence softens anxiety. How noticing this moment, just this one, makes the others fade into the background. Marcus Aurelius called this cutting the strings that pull you in every direction. And you can feel those strings loosening now, as the night deepens around you, as the body drifts into a slower state, as your breath steadies into a calm tide. Asterisk, a subtle realization begins to rise from this calm. If presence creates peace, then perhaps control is not something you chase, but something you invite through clarity, through simplicity, through the act of being here instead of everywhere. Asterisk, your mind grows quieter, your thoughts grow slower, your breath grows softer, and in that space, a gentle curiosity begins to bloom. A question not asked with urgency but with ease, like a soft whisper drifting through the garden. Asterisk, if presence is this calming, what happens when you begin to understand what is truly within your control? Asterisk, this question doesn't demand an answer. It simply guides you, like a lantern leading you further along the path, deeper into Stoic wisdom, and into the next unfolding layer of calm. You remain in that gentle twilight of awareness, the night calm around you, your breath steady and slow. From the quiet center of this moment, a deeper understanding begins to surface, one the Stoics called the key to inner freedom. It's simple but powerful, soft but transformative, and tonight it becomes the doorway into even deeper rest. Asterisk, you sense it first as a kind of lightness, a loosening, a soft unraveling of mental knots. It arrives when you understand what is yours to carry and what never was. Asterisk, the Stoics framed this as the dichotomy of control, one of their clearest, most comforting teachings. It's the idea that some things are up to you and others are not. Your thoughts, your choices, your responses, these belong to you. But everything else, other people's opinions, the outcomes of events, the judgments of the world, the past, the unpredictable shifts of tomorrow, these were never yours to command. Asterisk, you feel the truth of this settling into you like warm water. How often has your mind spun itself into exhaustion trying to control what it could never shape? How many nights has your sleep slipped away because you replayed moments already done, or anticipated moments not yet born? The Stoics faced these same struggles. They lived through wars, politics, uncertainty, illness, and responsibility. And still they found peace not by gripping tighter, but by letting go of what wasn't theirs. Asterisk, Epictetus, once a slave who became one of the greatest Stoic teachers, taught that freedom begins the moment you understand this line. Some things are within your control, others are not. He didn't say it harshly. He said it with compassion, because this understanding lifts weight off the mind. Asterisk, tonight, that weight lifts off you as well. Asterisk, you breathe in, and imagine gathering the things you can influence: your attitude, your breath, your focus, your willingness to rest. you breathe out and imagine releasing everything else. The expectations, the fears, the imagined conversations, the outcomes you cannot predict or force. They drift out of you like mist dissolving into night air. Asterisk as you walk through the garden. In your mind, you notice the path stretching ahead. It's simple, clear, free of clutter. This is the path of what you control. Everything else falls away into the shadows to the sides, still present, but no longer gripping you. Asterisk Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of this constantly. His writings reveal a man burdened by leadership, responsibility, and pressure. But every evening, he returned to the same truth. Your mind is your own. Your response is your own. Let the rest go. He wasn't detached from life. He was wise enough not to hold what would only weigh him down. Asterisk he'll pause beneath a cypress tree, feeling its tall, dark presence above you. The branches move slowly with the breeze, and you sense your breath. Moving with them, the world feels slower now, heavier in a comforting way. Anchored, you rest your hand against the rough bark, grounding yourself, feeling the texture of something ancient and steady. Nature is not concerned with controlling every outcome. It simply grows, shifts, adapts. And in this moment, you are part of that natural rhythm. Asterisk let your mind drift into a short, meditative passage. Asterisk you feel the earth beneath your feet, unmoving, steady. You feel your breath expanding softly in your chest, collapsing gently as you exhale. The air around you is cool and dark, illuminated only by moonlight sliding across stone. You hear distant water, rhythmic and soothing. Your body grows heavier as each breath releases more tension. Your shoulders sink, your chest softens, your jaw loosens, and the world feels quieter, as though softened by a blanket of night. Nothing pulls at you, nothing presses in. You simply exist in a pocket of calm, held by the silence of ancient air. Asterisk as you rise from this sensory drift, the core teaching becomes clearer, like a lantern glowing more brightly in your hands. Peace comes from focusing on what is truly yours. And sleep the natural, gentle surrender of the mind comes when you stop wrestling with what lies beyond your reach. Asterisk. Imagine again the burdens you've unknowingly carried to daze in one's reaction. A stray comment, a worry about tomorrow, a memory of yesterday. Picture them as stones placed in a satchel, heavy, unnecessary, and not yours to bear into the night. Without judgment or force, imagine loosening the strap, letting the satchel drop to the ground beside the garden path. It doesn't vanish. It simply doesn't travel with you. Asterisk with each step you take, your mind grows clearer. The path feels easier beneath your feet. The night air feels lighter. You feel something you may not have felt all day, a sense of calm, control, not over the world, but over your inner landscape. Asterisk Seneca wrote that the mind becomes peaceful when it stops, scattering itself in 100 directions. When it returns to the present moment and to the truth of what is actually yours. You feel that truth now, settling into your chest, spreading through your breath, lowering your heart rate, guiding you deeper into rest. Asterisk you sense, too, the quiet confidence that comes from this clarity. The world doesn't feel so overwhelming when you stop trying to shape every outcome. Life becomes simpler, sleep becomes smoother, the mind becomes quieter. Asterisk, and in this quiet, A new kind of calm emerges, one that opens naturally into another layer of Stoic wisdom. A layer whispered by someone who lived through storms far more violent than sleepless nights. Someone who mastered the art of finding peace within chaos. Asterisk, as your breath continues its gentle rhythm. As the garden darkens into deeper night, another soft truth begins to rise, ready to guide you even closer to rest. The night deepens around you, the air growing cooler, softer, almost velvety as it settles along the ancient stone pathways of the garden. Your breath continues its slow rhythm, steady and unhurried. From this gentle quiet, another presence begins to take shape, not imagined, but remembered through history. The presence of Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who searched for inner calm while the world around him trembled with uncertainty. Asterisk, you picture him seated on a simple bench, not a throne. His cloak draped lightly around his shoulders, a small oil lamp flickering beside him, casting warm amber circles across the stone floor. His face is thoughtful but not tense, weary but not defeated, reflective in the way only someone carrying enormous responsibility can be. And yet, despite everything he faced, loss, sickness, unrest, he cultivated a quiet within himself that no turmoil could steal. Asterisk. This is the quiet you begin to sense within yourself now. Asterisk, Marcus often wrote. In the late hours, when the noise of the day faded and he could hear the softer voice of his own mind. His meditations were private, not meant for an audience, not designed for approval, just personal attempts to steady his heart. And many of these writings were created in moments like the one you're imagining now. Moments when sleep felt distant and the mind needed a gentle realignment. Asterisk, he would remind himself. Nowhere can you find a more peaceful retreat than in your own soul. Not in palaces, not in armies, not in power. The retreat lived inside him, and it lives inside you. Asterisk, you take a slow breath, imagining sitting across from him in that quiet, not as an emperor to be feared, but as a fellow human trying to ease the weight of the day. His teachings were never above anyone. They were humble reflections from someone trying to make sense of his own restlessness. Asterisk, you notice how his presence makes the garden feel even softer, more grounded, as if his calm is spreading through the air. Your thoughts grow slower, quieter. The mind feels like a still lake in moonlight, barely rippling. Asterisk, Marcus often faced nights filled with overwhelm. He wrote during plagues, military campaigns, political tension. He faced grief, illness, and betrayal. And yet, in his writings, you never feel panic. You feel a man searching earnestly for peace and finding it through acceptance, humility, and inner discipline. He would ask himself gentle questions, almost like reassurances. Is this within my control? Is this worth losing sleep over? Asterisk, is this harming my peace? Asterisk, you feel these questions echo inside your own mind, not as demands, but as soft clarifications. They help you separate noise from truth. They help you return to yourself. Asterisk, let your mind drift into a meditative scene. Asterisk, you sit beside Marcus beneath a tall archway covered in climbing ivy. The stone beneath you is cool and reassuring. The lamp between you flickers gently with the wind. The scent of herbstein, mint, sagrizas from the nearby garden. Beds. A distant night bird calls. the sound stretching softly across the darkness. You breathe in through your nose, drawing in the cool air. You exhale slowly, your body sinking deeper into stillness. The presence beside you feels calm, unhurried, grounded, and the night wraps around you like a soft cloak. Asterisk as you come back to the philosophical current. You feel how Marcus approached the inner storms of life not by denying them, but by observing them with a kind of gentle objectivity. He reminded himself that the mind becomes troubled only when it clings to things it cannot change. He believed that peace comes when you look at your thoughts the same way you watch weather patterns shifting. Temporary, never fully under your command. Asterisk, he wrote often that disturbances come not from events, but from your judgments about them. And so, when he felt overwhelmed, he softened his judgments. He simplified the moment. He returned to his breath. He reminded himself that human lives, no matter how powerful or pressured, are made of small, manageable moments. One breath. One choice. One thought softened. Asterisk right now. You feel that same truth unfolding inside you. Your breath has grown slower, longer, deeper. Your mind feels less tangled, more spacious. Thoughts that felt heavy earlier now feel distant, like faint echoes. You're no longer pulled by them, you're watching them with the same calm Marcus practiced in his quiet hours. Asterisk. This is the beginning of inner quiet, the still point within. You that remains undisturbed, no matter how loud the world becomes. It isn't dramatic. It doesn't require effort. It unfolds naturally when you release the urge to control everything around you. Asterisk. Marcus often imagined his mind as a calm citadel, strong, silent, impenetrable to chaos. Not a fortress built through force, but through clarity, through presence, through acceptance, through the wisdom of focusing on what truly matters. Asterisk. You feel that citadel building softly inside you now. Breath by breath, moment by moment, the night air deepens. The invisible boundary between body and surroundings thins. Everything feels connected, quiet, and safe. Asterisk. And as your awareness drifts deeper into this calm, a new understanding begins to flicker gently like the lamp beside Marcus. A realization the Stoics repeated often, one that releases even more weight. One that is as gentle as a whisper and as powerful as a tide. Asterisk. The understanding that so much of your nightly restlessness comes not from events, but from expectations placed on yourself, on others, on how life should unfold. And as the lamp flickers, as the night deepens, that realization begins guiding you toward another layer of peace. The night drifts deeper, wrapping the ancient garden in an even softer darkness. Your breath settles into a slow, steady rhythm, and from the quiet you've discovered with Marcus Aurelius, another truth begins to rise, gentle, subtle, and profoundly freeing. Asterisk. It is the truth about expectations. The quiet weight you've carried for years, often without noticing how heavy it became. Asterisk. You feel at first as a soft ache, not painful, just familiar. The mind so often tightens around the belief that you must be perfect, must meet every demand, must accomplish more, must be stronger, calmer, wiser, better. The Stoics understood this pressure deeply. They faced different lives, but the inner struggle was the same. The mind tying itself in knots, trying to become someone it imagines it should be. Asterisk. But tonight, you're invited to let that weight slip away. Asterisk expectations can feel like invisible. Armor heavy, constricting, exhausting. And yet, the Stoics discovered that peace begins when you loosen that armor. The moment you allow yourself to be human, imperfect, and unfinished. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, again and again, that no person is flawless, even an emperor. Seneca admitted his inconsistencies openly. Epictetus taught that the goal is progress, not perfection. Asterisk you breathe in, and feel a gentle spaciousness. Open inside your chest. You breathe out, and feel the tightness of expectations soften. Like fabric slowly loosening after being stretched too long. Asterisk, you imagine yourself walking through the garden again. This time, your steps feel lighter. The cypress shadows look less imposing. The night sky above seems wider, more open. You feel as though the world has quietly forgiven you for every unrealistic expectation you ever placed on yourself. Asterisk Seneca wrote that the mind becomes peaceful when you stop asking it to be someone else. He said, "You are not required to rise to the level of perfection. You are only asked to rise to the level of your nature. Your nature, that quiet, steady presence within you is already enough, already whole, already worthy of rest." Asterisk let yourself drift into a sensory meditation. Asterisk you feel the ground beneath you, soft with fallen leaves. You hear the distant hum of night insects weaving a gentle rhythm through the darkness. The moonlight filters through branches like silver dust. A mild breeze brushes past your skin, carrying the faint scent of crushed mint and warm stone. Your body grows heavier with each breath, sinking deeper, settling more fully. You pause beneath an archway draped with vines, the shadows swaying gently. And in this moment, there is nothing you must accomplish, nothing you must fix, nothing you must become. Asterisk just breath, just body, just quiet. Asterisk as the meditation softens into stillness, the philosophical insight becomes easier to understand. Asterisk expectations create mental tension, because they try to force life into a shape it resists. They whisper that you should always be productive, always be composed, always manage everything perfectly. But the Stoics knew that this inner pressure fractures the mind. It keeps you awake at night. It tightens the chest. It steals presence, joy, and rest. Asterisk Marcus Aurelius often wrote notes to himself like soft reminders. Don't expect perfection, not from yourself, not from others. Accept your humanity. Release the pressure that harms your peace. Asterisk these weren't commands, they were gentle corrections. He was reminding himself to soften, to allow imperfection, to rest without guilt. You feel that same permission blooming inside you. Permission to not have all the answers. Permission to rest even if today wasn't perfect. Permission to breathe without earning it. Asterisk. Permission to simply be as you are in this moment. Asterisk you notice how your body responds. Shoulders settling, breath deepening, jaw unclenching, mind unwinding. The weight you carried all day begins to slide away, not through force, but through clarity. Asterisk this is the Stoic art of letting go, not abandoning responsibility, but releasing unnecessary pressure. It's the understanding that you are a living being, not a machine. That rest is not a reward. It is a natural part of human life. Epictetus taught something profound yet gentle. Do what you can with what you have. The rest is not yours. And this simple truth dissolves so much inattention. You did what you could today more than your mind admits. And tonight, you don't owe anyone perfection. You don't owe yourself a flawless version of who you think you should be. Asterisk. You let that realization settle inside you like warm light. Asterisk. Soft. Calming. Steady. Asterisk. Expectations slowly dissolve like fog burned away by morning sun. And in there, place, a quiet spaciousness emerges. It feels like breathing after holding your breath for too long. It feels like loosening a knot tied deep inside the chest. It feels like finally telling the mind, you don't need to try so hard right now. Your senses deepen into the night. The sky darkens to the color of ink. The stars shimmer like distant lanterns. The breeze grows slower, gentler. And somewhere inside you, the mind whispers a new truth when you didn't have space to hear before. Asterisk. When you let go of heavy expectations, your thoughts begin to drift naturally, softly, freely, like clouds passing through a wide open sky. Asterisk. And from this softening, this letting go, another layer of Stoic wisdom emerge, with swine that feels even more like sleep. The wisdom of allowing thoughts to drift without attaching. To them, the art of not chasing anything, simply watching the mind flow like water in moonlight. The night has grown even softer, as though the darkness itself has settled into a slow, calming breath. Your body feels heavier now, comfortably weighted. Your mind quieter, like a lake at midnight, with only the faintest ripples gliding across its surface. From the gentle release of expectations, you ease naturally into another Stoic gift, one that feels almost like dreaming while awake. Asterisk. It is the art of letting thoughts drift, without chasing them, without wrestling them, without believing every whisper your mind creates. Asterisk. The Stoics understood something essential about thinking. The mind is always moving, always producing images, memories, predictions, stories. Epictetus said the mind is like a storyteller that never sleeps. It tells tales constantly, many of which are exaggerated or unnecessary. But peace doesn't come from stopping these thoughts. Peace comes from watching them without getting pulled inside. Asterisk. You breathe in softly. You exhale slowly. And in that gentle rhythm, you notice your thoughts the way you would notice clouds drifting across a sky. They appear, shift, dissolve, drift away. Asterisk. Epictetus compared the mind to a river, always flowing, always changing, never the same from moment to moment. You cannot grasp the water without disturbing it, but you can sit beside it, observing the movement with calm detachment. Asterisk. Right now, you feel yourself becoming that observer. Asterisk. You sense a thought rising, maybe something from earlier today, or something small you've forgotten to do, or something uncertain waiting in the future. But instead of grabbing it, you let it pass. You watch it float by like a leaf carried by a slow current. No judgment, no tension, just movement. Asterisk. Marcus Aurelius used to write late at night when thoughts pressed too tightly against his mind. Instead of fighting them, he softened. He reminded himself, you don't need to react to every impression. Let them come. Let them go. He wrote as though soothing his own mind, like calming a distressed child. And gradually, those thoughts would quiet on their own. Asterisk, you feel that same soothing tone inside you now. Thoughts arise, and you let them drift. They no longer cling. They no longer grip. They simply pass. Asterisk, walk with me into a meditative drift. Asterisk, imagine yourself standing near a shallow stream at the edge of the ancient garden. Moonlight ripples on the water's surface, turning it silver and soft. The night is cool, but not cold. Perfectly still, except for the quiet murmur of water brushing over smooth stones. You stand barefoot on the soft earth, feeling the gentle chill rise through your feet. You lean slightly over the stream and see your reflection blur and reshape in the moving water. Shifting, changing, never stay in one form for long. Just like thoughts. Nothing fixed, nothing solid, just patterns of light on moving water. You reach down and touch the surface lightly, the water cool and delicate beneath your fingers, and as concentric circles drift outward, you feel a matching wave of calm unfold through your chest. Asterisk, you stand there quietly, letting the stream become your mind. Thoughts appear like leaves floating on the surface, drifting, swirling, slipping out of sight. And you watch them all without needing to hold a single one. Asterisk, as you drift back into philosophical awareness, something becomes clear. You are not your thoughts. You are the space in which thoughts appear. This realization is soft, not alarming. It frees you. The Stoics believed that most suffering comes not from events, but from attaching too tightly to mental impressions, believing every story the mind tells. But when you step back, when you watch instead of react, the mind loosens its grip. Asterisk, Epictetus said, when a thought troubles you, tell it. You are just an impression, not the truth. You feel that now. A thought rises, asterisk. It floats. It fades. Your breath continues, its quiet rhythm, gentle, steady, comforting. And with each breath, your mind slows even more. The edges of thoughts grow softer. Their importance fades. Their urgency dissolves. You settle deeper into a state of observation, not involvement. Asterisk, this ability to watch thoughts drift without following them is one of the greatest gateways to sleep, because sleeplessness often comes from the mind insisting you must follow every thought, respond to every worry, solve every imagined scenario. But the Stoics knew that these thoughts are like clouds, harmless, passing, temporary. Asterisk, you return to the stream in your mind, watching the moonlit water move effortlessly, feeling the night around you grow warmer, quieter, safer. Nothing disrupts you. Nothing pulls you away. You are a witness to your own inner world. And in that witnessing, calm blooms. Asterisk, Seneca wrote. About evenings, when his mind buzzed with activity, and he described how he learned to let thoughts settle naturally. He said the mind calms the way a shaken jar of water clears if you simply leave it undisturbed. You feel that metaphor inside? You, the more still you become, the more the mind's sediment settles, sinking into a peaceful silence. Asterisk, you sense it deepening now. Not forced, not pushed. A natural drop into tranquility. Thoughts drift like feathers. Slow, light, harmless. You don't need to banish them. You simply let them pass. Asterisk, and as the night grows even softer, as your breath deepens, as your body relaxes into a slow heaviness, A new layer of Stoic wisdom begins to glow faintly at the edges of your awareness. Asterisk, a layer made not of concepts, but of stories, ancient stories, of resilience, perseverance, quiet strength stories that soothe the heart and calm the mind, especially in the fragile hours before sleep. The night around you feels deeper now, thicker with calm, as though the darkness has wrapped itself around your shoulders like a soft, warm cloak. Your breath has slowed into an easy rhythm, the kind that tells your body it is safe, the kind that tells your mind it can drift without effort. From the gentle stream of drifting thoughts, you now enter a new layer of quiet wisdom, one shaped by stories. Ancient, tender stories that carry the softness of resilience. Asterisk, the Stoics were not distant marble statues. They were human beings who lived through fear, uncertainty, heartbreak, and loss. And yet, through all of it, they found ways to cultivate peace inside themselves. Their stories are gentle reminders that resilience does not mean strength through force, it means soft endurance, quiet courage, the calm persistence of returning to yourself again and again. Asterisk, imagine the garden around you broadening, the pathway opening, the night stretching wider. In the dim light, shapes begin to appear, figures walking slowly, each carrying a story. These figures are not famous like Marcus Aurelius. They are quieter voices in Stoic history, often overlooked but deeply soothing in their humanity. Asterisk, one of them is Cleanthes, the Stoic philosopher who began his life not as a scholar, but as a poor laborer carrying water at night to fund his studies. Every evening, after days of hauling loads too heavy for his small frame, he walked into the dark streets of Athens with buckets of water balanced across his shoulders. He did this with no complaint, no bitterness. He believed that effort, when done with a calm heart, became a form of inner training. Asterisk, Cleanthes didn't chase prestige. He didn't measure himself against the greatness of others. He simply lived with quiet discipline, trusting that small steps slow one shape a life. His calm perseverance became the foundation of his wisdom. He often said, "Adjust yourself to life's rhythms, not fight them, not control them. Adjust gently, like a leaf moving with the wind." Asterisk, you feel his presence now in your imagination, moving gently through the garden, his pace slow, his breathing steady. He carries nothing heavy anymore, only the softness of someone who learned to endure without losing his tranquility. Asterisk, you take a slow breath in and feel that same resilience inside your chest. Asterisk, you exhale and notice how soft resilience feels. Not rigid, not hard, but like smooth stone warmed by sun. Quiet, steady. Asterisk. Another figure approaches in the dimness, the lesser-known Stoic Musonius Rufus. He was exiled multiple times for speaking with honesty, yet he never grew bitter. In exile, he planted gardens, taught philosophy to villagers, shared food with strangers. When fate pushed him to the edges of the world, he made those edges feel like home. Asterisk, he taught something simple. Wherever you live well if you live with virtue. And this truth becomes a calming reminder. Peace is portable. It moves with you. It settles wherever you decide to place your attention. Asterisk, let your mind drift into a meditative passage, letting these ancient figures fade into sensory calm. Asterisk, you walk along a wider part of the garden, gravel crunching softly under your feet. The air is cooler now, scented with jasmine blooming in white clusters along the path. Lanterns flicker from stone pillars, their glow trembling gently in the breeze. In the distance, a night chorus hums crickets, wind, faint whispers of water. The sky above is a soft ink blue, scattered with stars like quiet embers. You feel your steps slow, your shoulders sink, your breath deepen as the world around. You melt into peaceful darkness. You feel held by the night, supported by something ancient and gentle. Asterisks from this meditative drift. The stories return with new meaning. Asterisks, these ancient figures were not seeking greatness. They were seeking peace. They found it through simple consistency, through acceptance of hardship, through gentleness toward themselves. They understood that resilience is not the absence of struggle, it is the softness that allows you to bend instead of break. Asterisk. You feel a quiet admiration for the ordinary people who endured extraordinary situations by staying rooted in simplicity. Their lives remind you that calm is not earned through perfection, but through returning to yourself whenever you drift away. Asterisk. Seneca admired such people more than he admired generals or rulers. He wrote that true strength is gentle, and that the calm soul is the one most capable of meeting life with clarity. He believed that even in the darkest moments, a person could find inner brightness by remembering what truly matters. Asterisk. You feel that brightness in yourself now, not loud, not sharp, just a faint, steady glow in your chest, a calm persistence, a soft resilience. Asterisk. And with that glow, a new idea begins to whisper, carried by the night breeze. Subtle, cosmic, expansive. It's the idea that you are part of something vast and natural, that your breath follows patterns older than memory, that your calm is woven into the rhythm of the universe itself. Asterisk. A truth the Stoics cherished, a truth that deepens the moment. You lift your eyes to the night sky, a truth that will carry you even further into tranquility. The night feels vast now, stretching over you like an endless, gentle canopy. The garden around you is quieted into an even deeper stillness, the kind of stillness where you can almost hear the earth breathing beneath your feet. Your mind, softened by ancient stories of resilience, begins to sense another truth, a truth woven not into any single philosopher, but into the fabric of the universe itself. Asterisk. The Stoics believed that peace is found by aligning yourself with nature. Not nature in the narrow sense of trees and rivers, though those matter too, but the deeper nature of existence. The rhythm, the flow, the quiet unfolding of everything that is. Asterisk. They called it living according to nature, a phrase often misunderstood. It didn't mean living in forests or rejecting human comforts. It meant something softer, more intimate. Noticing how the universe moves, and allowing yourself to move with it. Accepting the seasons of your life as easily as the seasons of the earth. Trusting the gentle, inevitable cycles that shape everything you see and everything you are. Asterisk. You breathe in and feel that cosmic rhythm stir lightly inside your chest. Asterisk. You breathe out and feel yourself settling into it, sinking with something ancient and vast. Asterisk. Marcus Aurelius often wrote that the same forces guiding the stars also guide you. Not metaphorically, literally. The particles in your breath once drifted through galaxies. The warmth in your hands once burned inside a star. The calm settling over you now is the same calm found in night skies millions of miles away. Asterisk. Your not separate from nature. You're an expression of it. Asterisk, let that thought sink softly into you. The way moonlight sinks into water. Asterisk, imagine lifting your gaze toward the sky in the ancient garden. The cypress trees rise like dark silhouettes around you. The night above them shimmering with constellations the Stoics themselves would have. Non-Orion, Lyra, the Pleiades. The stars glimmer with a steady, quiet confidence. They don't rush. They don't force. They don't strain to shine. They simply exist in perfect rhythm. Asterisk, and in this moment, so do you. Asterisk, you walk slowly toward an open clearing in the garden. A wide circle of marble tiles, warmed slightly by the earlier sun. In the center stands a stone sundial, its shadow, invisible now in the darkness, but its presence a reminder of the passing hours, the turning world, the rhythm of time itself. Asterisk, as you approach it, you feel something subtle. Asterisk, your breath sinking with the vastness above, your heartbeat echoing faintly in your chest like a soft drum keeping time, your mind loosening its grip even further, your body becoming heavier, more grounded, more peacefully aligned. Asterisk, the Stoics believed that peace comes from understanding your place in the natural order. You're not meant to control the universe. You're meant to participate in it, to move with it, to flow with its currents like a leaf floating on a slow river. Asterisk, Epictetus said, do not demand the world to be as you wish. Instead, wish it to be as it is, and you will find peace. Not a command, a gentle shift. The same shift you feel happening inside you now. Asterisk, let yourself drift into a sensory meditation, one that expands beyond the garden, beyond the earth, into the quiet rhythm of the cosmos. Asterisk, you stand beneath the vast night sky, feeling the cool air wrap around you like a soft, invisible cloak. The stars above shimmer with a pale, ancient glow, each one a quiet flame burning across unimaginable distances. You tilt your head slightly, noticing how the air feels lighter, near the crown of your head, heavier near your feet. Your breath slows, deepens, becomes almost indistinguishable from the night itself. You imagine the earth turning beneath you, steady and slow, carrying you effortlessly without your help, the universe expanding silently around. You, asterisk, pulling galaxies apart with the gentlest touch. You feel as though you're floating, not weightless, but perfectly supported, as if the cosmos has cupped its hands beneath you, holding you in infinite quiet. Asterisk, as you return gently from this cosmic drift, the philosophical truth becomes clearer. You are part of a natural rhythm far greater than your thoughts. You don't need to force your mind to be calm. You only need to fall back into the rhythm that already exists within and around you. Asterisk, Marcus Aurelius often reflected on this when he felt overwhelmed. He reminded himself that storms, conflicts, noise, expectations, these are temporary, but nature's rhythm is eternal. When you align with that rhythm, the mind unclenches, tension dissolves, the heart eases. Asterisk, Seneca wrote that nature asks very little of you, just that you breathe, that you observe, that you live gently, and that you trust the flow that carries every living thing. That flow carries you tonight, through your breath, through your senses, through this quiet unfolding of calm. Asterisk, you Feel it now. Your breath moving like waves. Your thoughts drifting like soft, wind-blown clouds. Your body sinking like a stone settling at the bottom of a peaceful river. Your awareness softening like light fading into dusk. And as you settle into this natural rhythm, another truth begins to rise within you. A truth the Stoics held close to their hearts. A truth that deepens peace, not by holding on, but by letting go. A truth tied to the gentle passing of time, to the impermanence of all things, to the soft acceptance that everything changes, everything fades, everything settles into its rightful place. A truth that brings profound calm when understood in the quiet hours of the night. The night around you has fallen into a deeper stillness, a quiet so complete it feels almost sacred. Your breath moves slowly, like a soft tide, your body warm and heavy, your thoughts drifting in gentle, widening circles. From the vast rhythm of the universe, another layer of truth now rises soft, ancient, liberating. A truth the Stoics held not with fear, but with tenderness. A truth that brings peace to restless minds and ease to tired hearts. It is the truth of impermanence. The gentle reminder that everything passes, every moment, every worry, every tension, every thought. This wasn't meant to frighten. To the Stoics. Impermanence was comfort because nothing painful lasts forever, and nothing troubling is permanent. Even the heaviest thoughts fade. The tightest anxiety loosens. The strongest emotions soften, just as night softens into dawn. You breathe in, and feel the faint glow of this truth warming your chest. You breathe out, and release something you didn't realize you were still holding. Marcus Aurelius reflected often on the passing nature of everything around him. Not to diminish life, but to soothe the mind. To remind himself that whatever weighed on him, stress, uncertainty, unfinished conversations, difficult emotions, were all temporary ripples on the surface of life. He would whisper to himself, in a tone both gentle and wise. This too is passing. And it always did. Seneca compared human worries to shadows moving across a wall, always shifting, never fixed. He said that what feels overwhelming now becomes small in the long sweep of time. Knowing this makes the mind quiet, soft, peaceful. You feel that softness settling over you now like a warm blanket. Impermanence is not loss, it's relief. It means you don't have to cling to anything, not tension, not thoughts, not expectations. Everything passes on its own when you stop gripping it. Take a slow breath and let that truth move through you like cool night air. Now drift into a meditative passage. Let the imagery carry you deeper. You stand in the ancient garden beneath a sky that has grown darker still. The stars are brighter now, like tiny lanterns scattered across velvet. The leaves around you sway gently in a slow wind. A few petals fall from a nearby flowering tree. You watch them drift downward, soft and weightless. They float for a moment, twist in the air, and settle quietly onto the ground. Nothing dramatic, nothing rushed. Just the simple, graceful passing of a moment. You kneel and touch one of the fallen petals. It's cool, delicate, almost transparent. asterisk, and in its softness, you feel a reflection of your own thoughts, fleeting, passing, nothing to fear, nothing to fight. Asterisk, you rise slowly, your breath calm, your body sinking deeper into the rhythm of the night. Asterisk, as you step back into the philosophical flow, a quiet realization crystallizes. The mind becomes peaceful when you stop asking it to hold everything forever. When you trust that feelings rise and fall, that worries gather and dissolve, that tension tightens and then loosens, naturally, gently, inevitably. Asterisk, Epictetus taught that suffering comes from holding too tightly, believing that thoughts define you or that emotions are permanent. Asterisk, but when you step back, when you see the temporary nature of everything that passes through your mind, you stop identifying with every rise and fall. You watch them, you breathe, and they release themselves. You feel this happening now. Thoughts surface, float, fade. Worries lose their shape. Asterisk, the body grows heavier, as though the earth is drawing you closer with a loving, grounding pull. Asterisk, impermanence frees you from the pressure of the moment. Asterisk, it allows you to rest, knowing nothing requires immediate resolution. Asterisk, yet everything can wait. Everything shifts on its own. Seneca wrote that night is the perfect teacher of impermanence. Asterisk, shadows stretch and shrink. Light dims and returns. Temperatures fall and rise. Even the stars appear to move across the sky. Asterisk, change is constant, gentle, reassuring. And as you breathe, you begin to notice something beautiful. Impermanence doesn't just dissolve. Tension, it reveals what is stable beneath it. Asterisk, there is a stillness inside you that doesn't change. Asterisk, a quiet observer behind the movement of your thoughts. A calm center. This stillness is what the Stoics called the inner citadel. Asterisk, the place within you untouched by change, untouched by fear, untouched by the rise and fall of the world. Asterisk, as thoughts fade, as emotions pass, you feel yourself drifting closer to that inner still point, quiet, steady, enduring. And from that inner center, another truth begins to glow softly, like a candle lighting in the deepest room of your mind. Asterisk, a truth about the still point at the center of life. Asterisk, the calm core that remains unmoved, even as everything else shifts around it. A truth that draws you even closer to sleep. The night settles into an even deeper silence, a silence so soft, so encompassing. It feels like the world itself has paused its breath. Asterisk, you rest within that stillness, wrapped in darkness that no longer feels empty, but protective, warm, deeply calming. Asterisk, from the truth of impermanence, another realization begins to rise within you. Asterisk, a realization the Stoics cherished as one of the clearest paths to inner peace. Asterisk, it is the understanding that beneath all change, beneath all motion, beneath every shifting thought and passing emotion, there is a quiet center within you that does not move, a still point, a place untouched by worry, untouched by noise, untouched by the chaos of the outer world. Asterisk, you feel yourself drifting toward that center now. Asterisk, not through effort, not through striving, simply through soft awareness. Asterisk, the more the mind quiets, the more this center reveals itself, Fastris like a small island appearing as the tide lowers. Marcus Aurelius called this inner stillness the retreat within, the place he returned to whenever the world pulled too strongly at him. He described it not as an escape, but as a homecoming. A place where the mind remembers its own strength, its own clarity, its own peace. You sense that homecoming inside you now. Your breath moving softly, your body sinking deeper, your mind loosening into wide, open calm. The Stoics believed that every person carries this still point, the quiet observer behind thoughts, the calm presence behind emotions, the stable core beneath the shifting surface of life. Let that idea settle into you like warm light. You are not your worries. You are not the noise of your thoughts. You are not the nightly restlessness. You are the awareness beneath them. The still water beneath the ripples. You breathe in and feel that center glow softly in your chest. You breathe out and feel tension drain downward, as though slipping through cracks in the earth. Imagine returning to the center of the ancient garden. The air here is cooler, the sky a deeper shade of blue, almost velvety. The stars shimmer with a quiet steadiness that mirrors the calm growing inside you. You walk slowly, your footsteps soundless on the stone floor. Your body heavy, relaxed, guided only by the rhythm of breath. In the middle of the garden you find a circular stone platform, smooth, warm from the memory of the day's sun. This is where the ancient philosophers often stood to contemplate the nature of life, the nature of the universe, the nature of the calm within. You step onto the platform, feeling its stability beneath your feet. It does not shift, it does not tilt, it simply supports you. The way your inner stillness supports you now. Let yourself drift into a meditative passage. You stand in perfect stillness. The night around you breathes slowly. A faint breeze curls around your ankles. The stars feel close enough to touch. Their light settling gently on your skin, like a fine mist. Your mind grows quieter with each inhale, softer with each exhale, like a lantern dimming until it glows with a low, steady flame. You become aware of a subtle hum beneath everything, the hum of life itself, steady, patient, ancient, and you feel yourself tuning into it like a string settling into perfect harmony. When you return from this sensory drift, you notice how your mind has changed. Not by force, but by alignment. The Stoics taught that the world around you will always move. People will change. Circumstances shift. Uncertainties arise. But your inner center remains steady. Like the axis of a spinning wheel, the outer rim turns, but the center stays still. Epictetus said that peace comes when you identify with the center rather than the spinning edge. When you learn, softly, to rest inside the part of you that does not shake. You feel this now, the quiet, grounded sense that you can watch your thoughts without being carried away, that you can witness emotion without being overwhelmed, that you can let life unfold without losing yourself to it. Seneca described this state as the calm that follows understanding. Not the calm of pretending nothing is wrong, but the calm of knowing you have a stable place within. Always ready to receive you, always ready to soothe you. Asterisk, your breath deepens. Your eyelids feel heavier. Your body sinks further into whatever holds it. The still point within you glows brighter, warmer, more peaceful. Asterisk, and as you rest within this inner quiet, another truth begins to unfold. Naturally, asterisk, a truth the Stoics held as the heart of their philosophy. Asterisk, a truth about surrender, about acceptance, about allowing life to flow exactly as it does. Asterisk, a truth that softens resistance, that loosens fear, that brings the mind into the gentlest state of rest. Asterisk, a truth that whispers you towards sleep. The night around you has become almost dreamlike now, a deep, velvety darkness, a quiet so profound it feels as though time itself has slowed to match your breath. Asterisk, your body is heavy with comfort, your mind softened into warm, drifting awareness. Your thoughts no longer sharp, but rounded, slow, distant, faint as mist. Asterisk, from the still point you discovered moments ago, you now begin to feel the soft pull of another ancient Stoic truth, so gentle, so accepting, it feels like the universe laying a warm hand across your heart. It is the truth of amor fati, the love of fate, the tender acceptance of life exactly as it is. Asterisk, not the harsh acceptance people sometimes imagine, not resignation, not passivity, but a quiet, almost loving agreement with the unfolding of your own life. Asterisk, the Stoics believed that peace cannot bloom in a mind that resists reality. Stress comes from fighting the present moment, from arguing with what already exists. Asterisk, from wishing life were different when it cannot be different right now. Asterisk, but when you soften, when you surrender the fight, when you allow life to be what it is, the mind relaxes in the deepest, most healing way. Asterisk, you breathe in and let this gentle acceptance settle in your chest. Asterisk, you breathe out and feel resistance melt from your ribs like warm wax. Asterisk, Marcus Aurelius wrote that the universe doesn't make mistakes. Asterisk, it unfolds exactly as nature intends. And when you align yourself with that unfolding, you stop feeling like you're swimming upstream. Life carries you, breath carries you, thoughts drift through you, sleep approaches you without force. Asterisk, you imagine yourself walking slowly through the ancient garden again. But this time, you're not observing or analyzing. Asterisk, you're moving with the night, with the cool breeze, with the soft rustling of leaves, with the warm glow of distant lanterns. Everything feels effortless. Everything feels guided. Everything feels exactly as it should. There is no need to change anything, no need to worry, no need to reach for any outcome. You feel held by nature, asterisk, by time, by your own breath. The Stoics understood that fate is not an enemy. It is the path beneath your feet, the air in your lungs, the moment you are living right now. When you embrace it, your mind stops gripping, asterisk, your heart stops tensing, your thoughts stop rushing. Let yourself slip into a meditative drift. You stand beside an ancient olive tree, its trunk twisted and wide with age. The bark is smooth in some places, rough in others. You place your hand on it, feeling the coolness and the quiet life humming beneath the surface. Asterisk, the branches sway above you, scattering moonlight across the ground like drifting silver petals. You breathe softly, asterisk deeply, and imagine your worries draining downward through your feet, asterisk down into the warm earth, where they dissolve harmlessly into soil. Asterisk your shoulders loosen, your neck softens, your body grows heavier, held gently by gravity in the night. You linger in that stillness, and when you rise from the meditation, asterisk, a soft understanding remains. Acceptance is not weakness, it is deep inner wisdom. Asterisk, it is the recognition that life does not need your constant control. Asterisk, it unfolds whether you resist or not. Asterisk, and when you stop resisting, you feel lighter, safer, more deeply at ease. Asterisk, Seneca once said, the willing soul aligns with fate, the unwilling soul is dragged. But he didn't say this as a warning, he said it as a comfort. Because when you flow with life, instead of fighting it, you can serve energy, asterisk, you can serve peace. You can serve your own inner quiet. You can feel that truth becoming real inside you now. Your breath is slower, your mind quieter, your body sinking deeper into rest. Asterisk, every muscle unwinds as you let go of the need for life to be anything other than exactly what it is. Asterisk, Epictetus taught that the secret to tranquility is embracing the present moment as though you chose it. Asterisk, not as though it was forced upon you, but as though you welcomed it. And when you do this, asterisk, every moment becomes softer, more bearable, more gentle. Asterisk, you feel this softening now, a tender acceptance spreading across your chest, asterisk down, your arms, asterisk into your fingertips, then through your legs, down to your toes. Your whole body feels warm, settled, peaceful. And as you rest in this acceptance, you notice something subtle. You are drifting, not mentally, viscerally. Asterisk, your body is beginning to feel as though it could slip naturally into sleep, without effort, without trying, without needing anything more. This surrender, this gentle falling into what is asterisk, is the doorway to deep rest. And from this surrender, another truth begins to emerge. A truth that brings everything together. A truth that leads you home, asterisk, to the quietest, softest part of yourself. A truth woven into the final steps of your journey tonight. The night has become almost weightless now, a soft, infinite darkness. A darkness that holds you gently, asterisk, that cradles your breath, that quiets the last edges of thought. Asterisk, your body feels warm, heavy, and safe. Your mind soft as dusk, settling over calm water. Asterisk, from the tender acceptance of fate, you now drift into the final layer of Stoic wisdom, asterisk, the return home, to inner quiet, to the deepest peace within you, to the place where sleep begins effortlessly. Asterisk, this homecoming is not a destination. It is a remembering of the calm that was always there, beneath fear, beneath expectation, beneath rushing thoughts, beneath the noise of the day. Asterisk, you begin to feel it now. A slow, glowing warmth spreading inside your chest, like an ember that has been waiting patiently to be noticed. Asterisk, this warmth is not excitement, asterisk. It is peace. It is recognition. It is the gentle embrace of the part of you, asterisk, that has never been shaken, asterisk, never been broken, never been lost. Marcus Aurelius called this inner quiet the place untouched by pain. Seneca called it the mind's private temple. Epictetus called it the self behind all impressions. Tonight, you simply call it home. You walk slowly through the ancient garden, now dimly lit by lanterns nearly burned to embers. The air is warmer than before, as though the world itself is exhaling, settling into the last moments before sleep. Your steps are slow, your breath deeper, your limbs heavy with release. You are moving without thought, only feeling, only drifting, only following. The subtle pull inward, every step brings you closer to the softest truth. You do not need to search for peace. You are peace. Once all the noise is set down, you come to a small stone bench beneath a wide fig tree. Its leaves sway slowly above you, creating patterns of shadow and moonlight that dance across the ground. You sit, and the bench welcomes the weight of your body, as though it has been waiting for you. Across centuries, let yourself drift into a final meditative passage. You sit in absolute stillness. The night wraps around you like warm silk. A faint breeze whispers through the branches. Its sound low and soothing. Your entire body feels heavy. Sinking deeper into the stone beneath you. Your breath is slow, smooth, almost seamless. Each inhale a soft rising tide. Each exhale a gentle falling wave. The world grows dim at the edges. Your awareness like a candle flame lowering toward its final glow. The stars blur slightly. Your eyes soften. Your mind quiets to a single, peaceful hum. You sit there, not thinking, not planning, not remembering, just being, present, whole, at rest. As you emerge softly from this meditative drift, the final philosophical insight settles into place. All the wisdom of the night, presence, control, resilience, nature, impermanence. Acceptance has been guiding you here, to this quiet stillness, to this gentle homecoming, to the space within you where peace is not earned, but revealed. Seneca wrote that wisdom does not create peace, it uncovers it. He said that mind's natural state is tranquility, and that suffering is what happens when we forget who we are beneath the storms of life. But tonight, in this ancient garden, in this slow, drifting breath, in this deep, settling quiet, you remember the calm beneath thought, the stillness beneath emotion, the center beneath change, the resilience woven into your being, the gentle acceptance that life asks of you, the quiet truth that you are part of something ancient, vast, peaceful. Your body grows heavier still, your breath slowing into the rhythm of sleep, your mind settling into warm darkness, like a stone sinking into calm water. Even your thoughts feel softer, their edges rounded, say there. Urgency fading into the distance. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to fix, nothing left to hold. You are home, you are safe. You are ready to drift. And as you rest in this final layer of quiet, you sense the gentle approach of sleep, not as something you chase, but as something that opens its arms to you, inviting you, cradling you, drawing you softly into its depth. Asterisk, now let yourself sink into the final wind down, as the ancient garden fades, as the lanterns dim, as your breath melts into silence. You've traveled through wisdom older than empires, walked with philosophers, drifted through gardens and starlight, and found the quiet center within yourself. Asterisk, this journey has softened your mind, lightened your heart, and guided you gently toward rest. All the truths you've explored tonight, asterisk, presence, release, resilience, alignment with nature, impermanence, the still point, the acceptance of fate, asterisk, have woven themselves into a single, calming thread. They meet here, in your breath, in your body, in the quiet of your mind. Asterisk, they remind you that you are allowed to rest, allowed to soften, allowed to be exactly as you are. Asterisk, every moment has led you deeper into peace, deeper into stillness, deeper into the quiet sanctuary within your own being. And so, as the night folds around you, as your breath warms the cool air, as your thoughts dissolve into soft, drifting shapes, receive this final gift, the permission to surrender fully to rest. Asterisk, you do not need to carry anything into the next moment. Asterisk, you do not need to try. You do not need to hold yourself upright. Let your mind float. Let your breath soften. Let peace gather around you like a gentle embrace. Asterisk, you are safe. You are calm. You are enough. Asterisk, feel the darkness deepening, softening, warming around you. Asterisk, feel your body melting into the surface beneath you. Your limbs heavy, your breath barely rising. Asterisk, imagine the stars dimming overhead, the garden fading into a soft blur, shapes dissolving, light fading, sound thinning into silence. Asterisk, the world grows distant, your mind grows quiet, your awareness becomes a single warm glow. Asterisk, you drift, float. Asterisk, sink gently into the quietest part of yourself, like falling through warm clouds. Asterisk, and now, let the last bit of tension fade. Let the final thought drift away. Let sleep take you gently, softly, completely. May you rest in ancient peace. May your dreams be calm, and may you wake renewed, asterisk, in the quiet wisdom of dawn.